Hey everybody and welcome. Today I want to talk to you about how to use Microsoft Excel to create a graph. So here I'm going to use some data that I fabricated for favorite season by biology student. I've got the different seasons here, including no preference and a total, and then I've got the number of students that picked each value. Now what I want to do here, I can actually just use the numbers, but remember sometimes it's nice to have these in percents as well. So I'm going to make another column here that's the actual percents that each of these create. Now you don't have to do this, but I think it's a good way to do stuff when we're talking about pie charts. So Excel is really nice. If I put a little equal sign, what it does there is it allows me to actually put in a formula. So to calculate percent, I have to click on the value of the previous cell. So if I want to figure out what percent spring is, take the value of the previous cell and divide it by the total. And if I click that, it'll give me an answer as a percent. Now you'll notice here it's not written as a percent, and that's okay. All I have to do is go up to the percent option here, say percent, and now it's written as a percent. Now what I could do here is I could actually click on the little box in the right hand corner and drag that formula all the way down so it calculates the percent for all of them. The one problem here is I clicked on it here so it records B2, which is this cell, over B7. What I'd rather have it do is B2 over B7 every single time. So I'm going to put a little dollar sign in front of B and a dollar sign in front of 7. And now when I copy my formula, it's going to keep that reference to this one here, the absolute reference with those dollar signs in it. So I click and drag, and now sure enough, it calculates all of those percents. And heck, I could bring it down here too, and it would show me that that's 100% when they add up. Again, that's just a cheap way to get percents. Now I have the percent values. I could use those, or I could use the numbers. Either one works for me. So how do I create the chart? Well, to create a chart itself, I'm going to go to Insert, and then Chart. And I'm going to select Pie Chart, because that's the data that I want to do in this case. And here, I could do any of these fancy charts. I'm going to choose just the basic pie chart to start with. So I click on that, and you'll notice that right now, my chart is blank. I think this is the way to go. Start with a blank chart and then add the stuff that you want rather than try to go the other direction. So how do we do it from here? Well, I right click on my chart and I say select data. Once I say select data, I need to collect the data that I want to use. So I'm going to click this little add button here, and I need to get my series name to start with. And for my series name, I could type it in here, or I can just click on the cell that I want to use. And so I'm going to click on that first cell, and that's going to give us a nice title. And then I'm going to click on all my series values. Now here, I could choose the numbers, but I'm actually going to choose the percents because I think they're a little bit more fun. And I'm not going to choose the 100%. I'm going to choose every single one other than the 100%. Once I have those, I hit enter, and it drops them into my chart. Now, here they are dropped into my chart, but I don't know what's what. I need to do some specifications there too. So when I go back in here, you'll notice now it's populated my horizontal with some weird little numbers. I don't need those. I need these categories. So I'm going to click on the edit here, and I'm going to highlight the different categories that I want. Once I do that, hit enter. Now you'll notice that now everything down here at the bottom is lined up correctly. It's got the different legend appropriate with the different seasons that we have selected. I don't think this is the best way to view the chart. Personally, I'd like to make some changes, so I'm going to add some chart elements here. I'm going to start by putting in the data labels. You'll notice right here, now it puts the actual percents inside each of the categories there. I think that looks a lot better. If I want, I can make more changes to this graph. I could choose to move the legend around, so it's not at the side, it's off to the right or something. There's a lot of stuff that I could do to play around with it. This is a pretty good setup. It's a nice pie chart. It's got all the data. If I want to be fancy, I can go up here, and Excel gives me a whole bunch of other options for how to reveal this stuff, and I could go down here and mess with it any way that I want. So you could try these other things to help, but this gives us a place to start, and you could certainly go from here. So that's how to make a pie chart using Excel. Moving on, we'll talk about how to make a line graph using Excel. So I'm going to click on my second tab here. And in this case, I have line appropriate data. It's got numbers for one axis, and it's also got numbers for the other. In this case, we're going to look at the temperature of water as we boil it over time. So in order to do this, same thing. I'm going to click in a blank cell. I'm going to insert a chart, but in this case, I'm going to click on one of the line graphs. Now, there are a bunch of different preferences here. I'm just going to start with the first one here. I think this is simple. You could have one with highlighted points if you want. We're just going to try this one here. Again, blank chart to start with. That's totally okay. Right click, select data, and I'm going to select my vertical axis first. My horizontal will come second. So I click add. My series name is temperature in degrees Celsius, and my series values are going to be all of these values clicked and highlighted here. Once I have that, it populates my axis. It turns out my x-axis is really okay here because my numbers are pretty similar, but I'm going to go ahead and select them all the same. So I'm going to click edit and select all the values for the x-axis. Say OK. Now there we go. Our axis and our lines line up and we're ready to go here. There are a couple of things that are missing from this graph that I think should be standard expectations on a graph. I don't know what my y and I don't know what my x-axis represent. They're not labeled here. Why Excel doesn't by default label them, I don't know. But I expect you to have them labeled in anything you turn in. So if I click these add elements, I'm going to say axis titles, and then it shows up with axis titles. And I can click on the axis titles here and I can type them in. So this is temperature in Celsius, and this axis here is time. And there we go. I've got a graph that's set up with all of the values that I want. If I want to change a bunch of stuff, there are a few different things I could do here. This one, it's not really appropriate to have a legend. That doesn't help me a bunch. I really don't need error bars or a data label. None of those things are necessary. So all of this stuff is pretty good the way it is. If I want to add some vertical grid lines, I could do that as well. So primary and major horizontal are already there. If I want the vertical lines in too, I could have those. If I want to get fancy again, I could go up to any of the settings up here and add additional points. But this is pretty much how to create a line graph using Excel. Moving on, how would you make a scatter plot? Again, similar ideas. So here we have kind of a random set of data. This is comparing someone's weight to their GPA. I don't expect it to be a line. I just expect it to be a whole bunch of individual points. How would I create it? Again, it's the same idea. Insert. And in this case, I'm going to click on the scatter plots to start. Once I click on it, so I'm going to go ahead and once again select my data. I right click, select data, and I'm going to click add. My series name, I'm just going to go ahead and select my title here, weight versus GPA. And then for my X values, I'm going to select GPA on the X, so I'll highlight all of those. And for my Y values, in this case, I'm going to select all of my values on the Y. Enter, and that drops in all of my points. And so there are all of my random little scattered points scattered throughout. Now again, it didn't put anything on the axes, which again, I don't understand why that's not a default. So let's go ahead, and I want my axis titles in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add these. So this is weight in kilograms. And this axis is. And there we go. I could get fancier if I want, but this is a scatter plot that has weight versus GPA all listed with those values. Okay, what about a bar graph? Well, bar graphs are pretty easy too. In this case, again, I have categories versus GPA. In this case, I decided to use sports, and again, just made up this data. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. So if I insert a chart here, this is going to be a bar graph. So let's go a little fancier. We'll do a fancy little bar graph here where we have 3D columns. Why not? So we'll select a column graph here with 3D columns. Right click, select data. My series names, I'm going to click add. For my series name, I'm just going to click on average GPA by sport. For my series values, I'll highlight all of my GPAs. And there they are, all of these weird bar graphs. They go up and down. There's all these different graphs. What's confusing about this is that my axis here is still a bunch of numbers. I need it to not be that. I need it to be the different sports. So I'm going to go to edit and click on this label range and highlight the sports that are associated with that data. Now with those sports in there, we have a little bit better look at our data, and we can see all of the different GPAs based on sport. I'm still missing an axis titles here, so I'm going to go to plus, axis titles, And again, just fill those in. So now we have average GPA by sport. So categories on the X and GPAs on the Y. If you want, you can get fancy here. Let's say I wanted to make all the girls' sports a different color. Like if I click on volleyball here and I go to fill, let's say I make the girls' ones pink. So you get a difference based on gender here, pinkish. So there's volleyball, here's girls' basketball. I can make each of these a different color. Girls' wrestling. So again, makes sense here. Hopefully you guys understand it. Feel free to ask questions if you have them. So if I want to create a Venn diagram, I think it makes more sense to do it in PowerPoint or in Word, but I'm going to do it in PowerPoint here. So how do we do it? Well, we start by inserting something. So if I go to Insert and then a shape. I'm going to choose a circle here because I think they're the most appropriate for Venn diagrams. When I do it, I'm going to hold down the Shift key so it stays as a circle. If I let go of the Shift key, it allows me to make an oval, but I want it to be a circle for this one. So I'm going to make my circle and drop it in here. I can change the color if I want. Let's make it orange, that's fine. And then what I'm going to do, I think all three of my circles should be the same size. So I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to paste that same circle just by hitting Control V. And I'll do it again. Now I have 3 copies of the same circle. And we'll drop them in so they're kind of even up there. Let me bring them up a little bit. Now you'll notice this is kind of a weird Venn diagram. I can't see through to the areas where they overlap. And that's because all of these circles are completely opaque. I want to be able to have some transparency so I can see through them. It also doesn't help that they're all the same color. So I'm going to go up here to my shape fill. Maybe I'll change this one to a light blue. And maybe the outline goes kind of blue too. And this one here, I'll change to, let's go with the green theme for this one. So make the fill a little lighter. And the outline kind of a dark green. So now I have 3 different colors, but again, I still can't see through them. So how do I change that? Well, I'm going to go on the shape, and I'm going to right click and go to Format Shape. And this little bar pops up over here. What I want to do is I want to change the transparency of my fill. When I change that transparency, maybe make it 50%, now I can see through it. This one here, same thing, transparency to say 50% or so. And now I can see through that one as well. I guess now I can tell that I'm not a perfect little spread here. Maybe be a little bit better like that. And there we are. Now I've got my 3 different circles to set me up for my Venn diagram. So let's say I want to label my categories as well. If I want to label my categories, I could click and type directly in them. The problem is it puts it right in the center. I don't know if I want that. I want to have more control over where my text is. So instead, I'm going to go to Insert Word Art and select a real basic one here. And let's say I want to talk about students of different grades. So say freshmen, font size down a little bit. And I'll copy the same thing here. Or something like that. And then I could add more. Like if I want to put smaller text, I could talk about the places where freshmen and juniors overlap. Or something like that, right? And so I can start, and again, if I have to resize it, I can do that stuff too. But I think this is probably the best place to create your Venn diagrams because I think they're a little bit easier to do in PowerPoint than in Excel or Visuals. All right, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but that's how to use some of the Microsoft tools to create these different